It's just been a lot of fun, but
Mm,
also a lot of volume of work.
okay.
We're turning around projects left and right. Now we've been diving into venues, and we launched Beast House, for example. We developed these smaller pop-up events, more intimate settings, and
Hello and welcome to the Mayman Show. We are coming to you from our studios in Riyadh, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Our guest today is a very legendary talent here in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia who is continuing his music journey serving as the Chief Creative Officer for Middle Beast. We have Ahmad AlAmmary. Everyone knows him as DJ Baloo. Thank you for being with us.
thank you for having me.
Well, before we start the interview, I'd like to ask you what you think of our new digs, our new setup
It
here.
looks cool.
Yeah,
It's comfy, cozy.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
we spent a couple of days digging through the storage, digging through pieces to see what we
looks
can
good.
set up,
Storage
make
looks
things a little
rich.
different. Yeah. All right. And so you're serving. You're the chief creative officer right now for Middle Beast.
Right.
So tell me about just your experience in that role and your vision for this creative leadership for such an important initiative here in the kingdom.
It's honestly a huge privilege for me to take on this role.
Yeah.
It's been my role since the onset of this whole project.
Hmm.
My background sits between design thinking, brand development, and brand strategy, and music. So it just feels like this was a perfect fit for me. And yeah, I mean, creatively, every day is its own day. Nothing, there's no real like, system for creativity. It's context. It's whatever comes your way, whatever problem you're solving. That's where your creativity sits, really.
All right. And then what makes the role interesting or challenging for you? How does it basically uh, tap into your creative bone?
Well, I mean, the way we think about things is usually, we push holistic thinking. So, we think about all of the possible ripple effects that any project may have. So,
Yep.
Soundstorm, for example, is our flagship annual event,
Yep.
huge. And part of that system is to support and highlight regional talent,
Hmm.
and give them this really beautiful platform to work on, and create their new audience,
Okay.
and that works across the board, even for international artists that come in. Sometimes we'll book a talent that might be huge in Europe but might be obscure here, and we create those opportunities. But in terms of creativity, every project has its own bag of ingredients. So, there's nothing that looks like the other.
All right.
Yeah.
And so Middle Beast started out, doing like you said, Sandstorm, which is your flagship
Right.
event, which turned into the largest music gathering in the region.
Right.
And I think the secret behind that, as you said, is you guys are fostering and nurturing talent in general.
Yeah, and also it's like there's a lot of discovery happening as
Yeah.
well. And I'm talking about us as a people, discovering music through this platform. It feels like this, really big exhibition
Hmm.
space where you walk from stage to stage,
Hmm.
discover music you may have never heard before, or music you may have overlooked,
All right.
or even just find a crowd that feels and thinks the way you do, and listen to the same music, and that's what music does. It creates tribes, and
Yeah. Brings people together,
it
right?
brings people together. Yeah.
Okay. And so with that, the brand evolved from not just being an event to like
Oh, the
tapping
the
into multi facets
Right,
of
but the
music.
brand was always about that,
Yeah.
from the onset. The big splash was Soundstorm,
Okay.
but we had every intention of launching our record labels, our music conference, XP Music Futures. At the time we launched, also we were just diving into
Yeah.
the lockdown and the you know
So
the pandemic, and even with that, we were focused on entertaining. So whether or not you could go to an event, we were still around there
all right.
to provide the music and provide the entertainment. So
All right, and through that timeline, can you give us a snapshot of the evolution, like what you guys went through and what you
sure. I
experienced?
mean, right now, this is our latest picture, as you
Yeah.
would say.
Hmm.
We started off with these flagship live events and some record labels here and there. We launched MDLBEAST Records, Gabu, Watar, Maestro Lab, and most recently Mahul Records.
Okay.
Each of these labels, for example, serves a sound, a niche, or above and beyond that, our conference is a really unique experience. It gathers people from around the region, and we have a day and night experience. During the day, it's all about learning and networking and connecting and collaborating.
Okay.
And at night, it turns into a regional music showcase. So, we highlight the up and coming brands that are leading the underground scene, or different sounds even. Like we're hosting multi genres now. So it's just been a lot of fun, but
Hmm.
also a lot of volume of work.
Okay.
We're turning around projects left and right. Now we've been diving into venues, and we launched Beast House, for example. We developed these smaller pop-up events, more intimate settings, and we take on spaces that are abandoned or
Hmm.
debunked, so we can take over
Yeah.
and kind of create an experience that's very unique. And that we saw that with Tahliya and Jeddah, with the Erga and Riyadh,
Hmm.
the abandoned hospital. We're looking at all of these different spaces and projects as fun experiences that we can create for our people, and
Yeah.
platforms for our musicians to shine, and a chance for us to book all kinds of music in
Yeah.
Saudi.
I mean, okay. We'll get to the talent later, but
Yeah.
I wanted to see why pick abandoned venues in general.
Well, I mean, it's especially with Tahliya, you're
Yep.
talking about something that's been there as far as we can remember.
Yep.
It's part of the Jeddah skyline,
Hmm.
and it was right there in the middle of the city.
Yep.
So that's been closed off. It
Hmm.
has a lot of space that could be activated, and
Okay.
the thought behind that is, we're here to create new experiences and redefine spaces in our country. So,
All right.
we also did that with Balad, for example, with Balad Beast.
Hmm.
We took on this very delicate, beautiful, historic space in Jeddah, and created a new face for Balad that people love and people could come to every year now. So, yeah, I mean, it's the spaces create their own opportunities. You look at each space individually and you think, what can I do for this space? How can I create an experience that suits the space? So,
Hmm.
honestly, it's tailor-made stuff, and that's what's fun about it. We customize every space for what we think makes the most sense in terms of receiving music.
All right. And let's tap into the talent element. So how do you guys work with aspiring local talent, for example?
Well, it's a mixed bag of opportunities. We receive music productions.
Hmm.
We go through them, and we channel them to the right labels, and we create opportunities for artists to continuously create music and share it. Besides that, there's so much talent in Saudi when it comes to underground DJs, and the genres sort of dictate where those artists end up sitting.
Okay.
In our case, we try really hard to feature all the genres that people love here, and
Okay.
obviously, like, popularity is important. So
Hmm.
we know, for example, that there's a big community that likes minimal house, and there's a big community that likes deep house or melodic techno, and each of those, like I said earlier, is a tribe.
Hmm.
And so it's important to discover all those audiences
Yeah.
and discover the palette, the taste palette that's in Saudi. What do people gravitate to? What do people like? Because I think we're still in discovery phase. People still are discovering what music they like. So it's a great time to test, you
Yeah.
know. Yeah.
So, what would you say is since you said it's discovery mode? What do you say is the fun part of shaping this up, especially someone who started out in the industry without having a platform or a venue like this to
Well,
thrive?
look, it took a bit of adjustment for me. I've been playing music for wow, 27 years now.
Yeah.
And a little before that, I used to make my own mixtapes with my friends,
Yeah.
and
Me too.
yeah, I loved creating those.
I was notorious for mixtapes
Yeah,
actually in high school.
yeah. I mean, it was just something I always loved doing, and I have very specific taste
Hmm.
in music, and so there's a lot of letting go of that you have to do when you're sitting in this spot
Yeah.
where you really have to cater to everyone's preferences, and we try
Okay.
really hard. Yeah, I mean it's a lot of learning and unlearning,
Okay.
because at the end of the day, if I were to curate things according to exactly what I want,
Hmm.
it would be a really niche party. It would serve a small community of people who have a very specific taste. But in our case, that's why Soundstorm has that many stages. We're literally serving a lot of different people, and we're trying to pinpoint where people gravitate to, and we're learning.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, working with, I mean, of course, Soundstorm. I've been a couple of times, seen different venues and locations all in one place, and I've seen a lot of acts basically progress during the years.
for sure.
See, one of them is a previous guest of mine. His name is Misha Said.
Hmm.
So I remember when he came on my show, he was DJing the VIP area, and actually said that mark my words, the next Middle Beast, I'll be performing the underground, and he was.
Yep.
So basically, are there aside from his example, are there other talents that you guys have been working with simultaneously through
Honestly,
the years?
honestly, many. The locals are very passionate
Yeah.
about their music, and very passionate about their growth, and they're curious, and they're dedicated, and there's a bunch of examples. I don't want to get into naming people
Yeah.
because there's plenty.
There's plenty, right?
Yep, there's
Okay.
plenty, and we are seeing these acts get booked in places like Bali and Zanzibar and
Hmm.
Europe and Ibiza, Egypt and Tunisia, Morocco. Like they're beginning to branch out of the Gulf and the region, and it's really nice to see because that kind of is the aim,
All
is
right.
to amplify and export our talent.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then another event you guys do is XP, which is like
Yes.
a melting pot for creativity and innovation. So,
Correct.
can you take us a little bit about this event and its purpose to basically ignite or further ignite
Right.
the creative industry here in Saudi?
Well, XP is I think it's our growth catalyst in
Yeah.
terms of, a Middle East brand that's pushing, a thriving regional music industry.
Hmm.
The way we designed it was about the day and the night.
All right.
And so during the day, you go and meet people, network, you attend panels and discussions. You could even attend professional workshops, technical workshops. What the daytime does actually is it creates opportunities. It's basically a platform for connection, collaboration, and creation.
Yeah.
And it's actually a community favorite. People love to come to XP and see the different things on offer. We're supported by the Music Commission,
Hmm.
And there's so many different aspects to learn from at XP. From learning how to manage yourself as an artist, to growing your skills and your network, to creating your own opportunities and building your technical skills. And then above and beyond that, there's a night program,
All right.
which once the sun comes down, all of our selected regional brands create their showcases,
Hmm.
and these showcases are usually either live acts or DJ acts that represent these brands. So, for example, we've had Soundscapes, we've had well, so we had Fabrica from Tunisia. We've had from our locals, we've had Lim and Echo and What the Duck, and so many cool different brands that come showcase,
Hmm.
select their own
I remember you
lineups.
also had Maid in the Ferry perform in one of them, if I
Yes, for
wasn't
sure, for
mistaken.
sure. Yeah, I mean, like the pool is huge,
Yeah.
for talent, and it ranges from these acts that are popular and mainstream maybe on YouTube, but they also collaborate with the artists like Manamod and Moyed have a few tracks together.
Yeah.
Fast-paced house music, and once you hear playing in any of the events that happen in Saudi, you'll notice the whole crowd singing along, and it's
Yeah.
it's actually really
Mhm.
nice to see.
All right, and aside from music, I remember when I was attending, I saw some curated installations as well to complement like the music that was playing,
Yeah,
in some of the stages and setups and everything.
yeah.
So where's the synergy behind them?
Well, I mean, it's immersive.
Mhm.
It's designed to be immersive. It's designed to be inspiring. We love it's audiovisual, it's music and art.
Yeah.
So, for us, it's about keeping you interested the whole time you're there.
All right. And what do you guys look for in young talent, local talent in particular?
Well, honestly,
Aside from, obviously, music genre,
right.
popularity being a
Not,
factor,
not
like you
not
said.
even music genre, it's excellence.
Yeah.
Honestly, I mean, we're looking for passion, we're looking for interest, we're looking for um, humility.
Hmm.
It's important to have, that aspect in a character where you know that they're hungry to grow and they're
Hmm.
hungry to learn, and they're not too good for anything.
Yeah.
They're there to literally
They're there to roll up their
develop their
sleeves,
sound, roll up their
develop and
sound,
grow,
and
right?
yeah, and there's so much, mashallah, that the talent in Saudi is it's shocking, and the passion is shocking, and it's different. It just tastes a bit different.
All right. And you previously described Middle Beast's growth as a marathon of joy. So what do you look at? How do you measure that instead of, aside from looking at numbers, figures, and, and all the corporate growth rate that,
Right.
people usually use as metrics?
I mean, for me, I believe in the happiness economy, and I think it contributes to great creative work, honestly, and we're in that position right now. We're going through a cultural renaissance, be it in music and film and art. It's Saudi is booming with culture.
Yeah.
Um,
It's keeping me in business. So
yeah,
I'm
I
good.
mean, honestly, it's a great moment for us. So there's no limitation on what genre or what sound or what. It's really about passion.
Yeah.
Yeah, passion and excellence and interest and growth and a willingness to evolve.
All right. Fair enough. And let's get away from the business side. Let's
Sure.
let's tap into DJ Baloo, Ahmad AlAmmary.
Yep.
You've had a remarkable journey yourself, especially starting out virtually in an industry that was non-existent, during the times when you first started. But obviously, with the progress happening here in the kingdom through the Vision 2030, we have thriving music scene, culture scene. I mean, it's the works. This
Right.
just off the top of my head. So, how would you define DJ Baloo's music journey?
Uh, I don't know. I mean, it's I wasn't in this for a music career.
Yeah.
Yeah, this wasn't mine. in the books for us. I didn't expect it to happen the way it has.
Hmm.
But also, throughout my journey, whenever I did do my thing and find platforms to play on, whether it's traveling to Beirut or Bahrain or Dubai or, even the local very secretive party scene.
Yeah.
It wasn't about music career for me. It was always about playing music
All right.
and having a good time with my community, my friends. Or if I was booked to play in Bahrain, it was a spectacle because a lot of people would drive from Riyadh and Sharqiya to Bahrain to hear me play just for the fact that I was a Saudi DJ playing at some club in Bahrain. So
Yeah.
yeah, there were a lot of surprises in this journey. This project being the biggest surprise. But rewind to when I started, I just did it because I wanted to. I loved electronic music and I loved playing it. And
Hmm.
um, yeah, I mean, I also come from a very musical family.
Yeah.
My eldest, my brother Khalid, actually. He was kind of like the cultural center in our family.
Yeah.
He introduced us to everything from film to, music to design and art. And,
Hmm.
we always had a deep interest in the arts, because of his influence and especially with me and house music. That's where I learned it. I learned it from Khalid. So
All right.
I picked it up very early. I was
Mhm.
maybe 11, 12 years old when I started to show interest in it or to be interested in it. And
Okay.
by the time I was 17, I had already a collection of
Okay.
music, before I started to mix it. Um, and then, it just became a passion
Okay.
of mine.
All
And
right.
then years later, I started to get things like a residency in Bahrain or,
Mhm.
multiple. I would just travel to Beirut and the gigs would appear,
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, it was
It was if you build it, they will come mentality, right?
somehow, especially with Beirut, I had a good community of promoters and DJs that would, happily offer me
Hmm.
a gig. Obviously, the money was never
It wasn't about the money.
it was never noticeable enough for it to feel like
Yeah.
a possible career. So it just became a side gig, and then and I think it's still kind of a side gig for me. I'm not gonna make money from I'm not gonna build my lifestyle from the music
Hmm.
fees that I get, but
Yeah.
um, I'm really loving the double job. This
Hmm.
the day and night job. They serve each other. They're all about music,
Yeah.
and the lines become blurry. I don't know where to put more effort because to me it's all music. It's all about spreading joy. So
I mean, if you love something, you'll do it. It's not
yeah,
about the revenue
you'll do it with
and yeah.
love.
I mean, I have a day job doing comms advisory for
Yeah,
government, and I'm here talking to you
right.
right now. I love what I do, so.
Yeah,
and so your brother Khalid was like you said was the cultural hub of the
right,
family.
right.
So how who else in your family influenced you? Because I remember even before we started this interview, you told me your sister is sings as
Everyone,
well.
honestly, like يعني, I can tell you, and no, I learned from everybody. I think um, the love of music, enjoyment of music. I think I learned from my mother and Khalid, my brother.
Hmm.
I have two sisters.
Yeah.
Al-Anud and Noura. Al-Anud, mashallah, she was able to pick up any instrument
Wow.
and play it, learn it.
Okay.
She's very musical. Um, and so is Noura, obviously. And, my brother Naif Kaman, he's into a different type of music, and there's always influence there. And
Hmm.
very, very supportive. Really, my whole family is really into house music, and
All right.
it's very interesting. But yeah, I mean, music is a cornerstone in our family.
All right. Okay. Fair enough. And and that cornerstone has turned you into a chief creative officer for one of the biggest projects?
I mean, look, I think, looking back at all of my career decisions, I think everything led me to this role.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything I learned, everything I picked up in terms of tools, in terms of business ideation, in terms
Okay.
of entrepreneurship, it
So
all led me here.
so if you didn't do music, what would you be doing right now?
Um, Probably working in brand strategy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Fair enough.
which
And
I do, by the
yeah,
way.
I mean,
It's
yeah, I
brand
mean,
strategy and
you
music.
apply it
Yeah,
to what you're doing right now. It's
absolutely.
it's one of the pillars of what you're
Right.
doing, but it's not the main thing right now.
No, I mean it's I don't think there is a main thing.
Yeah.
I think all of these things they work in support. It's
I know.
like,
I couldn't. I
having
couldn't. I couldn't agree more. I mean,
four pillars in a house,
I do comms, but I just call
Right.
myself a storyteller.
Yeah.
So it's
There you go.
that's it. And before we wrap up our interview, I always ask my guests if they have a personal message for the Mayman Show and Arab News audience. What's yours?
Well, my message is embrace your own creativity.
Yeah.
Music is a multi-layered world
Yeah.
that creates jobs. It creates joy for
Hmm.
people. It creates communities, friendships and bonds, and it transcends borders. So, to all the Mayman listeners or watchers, I
Yeah.
guess, I would say come check out our events. Come experience what music does to our world, and
Mhm.
hope you enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean, you guys will have fun, and maybe next time we'll have a Mayman Show in XP
Why
or
not?
Soundstorm.
Why not?
I'll take you up on that offer,
Why not?
right?
ليش لا?
Anyways, man, I won't take much of your time.
حبيبي, pleasure.
Thanks for
Thank you
coming
for
on the
having
show.
me.
Thank you. And we'll see y'all later. Tune in to the next Mayman Show.